Say, we love Blakely.
Let's just take the picture, okay?
Leroy and Cindy are the heart and soul of Blakely. It's really hard to imagine Blakely without them. But in terms of words of encouragement, they have earned their retirement.
I've always joked with them that they're not allowed to retire, right? Or they have to wait till I retire before they're allowed to retire. But they were not signing on to that.
Congratulations on your escape.
There was one weekend I was away on Blakely with the class, and so I had my full set of students, but there happened to be 4 people who were gluten-free, 4 people. And Leroy had told this great story about the perfect chocolate eclair in his life. I remember on one weekend he had told this story about how they were in pursuit of reclaiming the taste of this chocolate eclair that he had once tasted in his youth, and Cindy had perfected this perfect chocolate eclair. But of course, 4 of my students had never tasted chocolate eclairs because they had gluten intolerance. And so Cindy had gone out of her way to develop not only the perfect chocolate eclair recipe, but a gluten-free chocolate eclair recipe. And so that weekend, when Leroy told his story about chocolate eclairs, she also had these gluten-free chocolate eclairs. And I had this wonderful photograph of these 4 women who had never in their life experienced a chocolate eclair.
When my son was born, Cindy's a very thoughtful person and made him the most amazing baby quilt with marine-themed organisms on it, which was my interest. I'm a marine biologist, and we've always treasured that. And my son, even though he's 13 now, still hangs on to it. So I think about Leroy, and this always comes to mind. I'm sure you've heard this story before. I can't top this. It's when he did for Dr. Long, where Dr. Long had purchased a dart gun.
Top of the line dart gun. We bought it from the Primo company in Europe. And so when we got the dart gun early on in the process, I had equipment failure on the dart gun. We had one small piece go wrong. So to get it fixed, I was gonna have to send the gun back to Europe. And so it was a super precise machined part, one of a kind part. And Leroy just kind of looked at it. He said, I think I could fix that. And so I just kind of turned my baby over to him. I just kind of gave it to the doctor. And Leroy took the gun up into his workshop. And it's just kind of like that classic scene. You hear clanking and banging. You don't know what's going on in there. You hear machines running. I hear the drill going. And Leroy's in there, I don't know, somewhere between 1 and 2 hours. And he just comes back out with the dart gun, and it completely fabricated, machined this precision part from just scrap metal and pieces that he had laying around the shop. And he did it, and it just fit like a glove.
I'm happy that they can spend time with their grandkids. I'm happy that they can move on to their next chapter. We will miss them desperately.
I hope they'll look back fondly on their time on Blakely. And they're on to new adventures, living in a beautiful part of the country in Arizona.
I know they're going to sunny and warm climates down south, which I think they've earned at this point. And it's just not going to be the same. You know, the first time I go out there when Leroy's not standing by the vans and Cindy's not coming out from the kitchen, it's just going to be a really different feel.